Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Barry, that Goat Metal Show, bringing you the weekly recap. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's having a great start to this weekend. Me and my wife are going to be heading out to this real cool event called Oddities and Horror over in Jersey. Looking forward to it. I'm going to probably more than likely take some pics and maybe a small little video, something, maybe a share with the channel. Let you know how it is, all right? Also, want to give a nice shout out to everybody in this awesome fucking metal community who is reaching out and helping out our brother Paul from Ka'ai, all right? Everybody's aware, you know, if anybody knows Paul or didn't know, Paul fell on some hard times, and, you know, he made it known that, you know, he had lost his job and he was going through a bit of a struggle. But as a community that we are, we all forged together and we're helping Paul out. There's a GoFundMe for him. I'll be sure to have the GoFundMe link in the description just in case if you guys want to help Paul out. You know, any dollar helps out, man. I mean, it's just, you know, until he gets himself back up and stronger again, man. All hell, Ka'ai. All right, let's get to some, you know, to some sad news, man. Damn, it's been a lot of sad news going on lately in the in the metal world, man. Fortunately, we just had right now recently the passing of Ace Frehley, one of the founding members of Kiss. Passed away at 74 years old. You know, it's just a shame that he passed away in his house with his family around him in New Jersey. Yeah, he's an icon, man. He's a fucking icon, and nobody can say they know who Ace Frehley was. Even though he had a stint from Kiss from 72, I think from 72 to 80, it was early 80s, if I'm not mistaken, that he was with Kiss. And then, you know, came back again when they did reunions and stuff. But he had just released an album called 10,000 Volts in February of 2024. You know, Frehley survived by his wife Jeanette, daughter Monique, brother Charles, sister Nancy, and nieces Sunson Frehley and Julie Salver. You know, again, my condolences to the Frehley family, to the fans, to the Kiss Army. Shame, it's just a shame. You know, he had a tour coming up, and this fucking thing hit him and took him. Right? Ace Frehley was an OG from the Bronx. Grew up in the Bronx, and at age 13, he started playing guitar. He was, you know, it was all about Led Zeppelin, Cream, the Rolling Stones, and then eventually he ended up going up and, you know, do some bands. Started with Kiss. The rest is history. Rest in peace, Ace. Rest in peace. And some more passings, man. I mean, it just seems like this year has just been a bad case of legends passing away and, you know, musicians going. Jody Henry, bassist and founding member of Omen, passed away on October 12th. According to before, I think he had an injury. He had a fractured skull, and I guess he must have suffered from those complications, man. Sad, man. You know, Omen, you know, one of those OG bands that, you know, always flew under the radar. Yeah, rest in peace, man. It's just a shame, guys. Just, you know, make sure you guys start really taking care of yourself. As soon as you start getting older and older, man, make sure you take care of yourself, man. Rest in peace, Jody Henry. Okay, now we're going to go into some health news. We've already went through some deaths. Now we got to go through some health news. All right, Phil Fontana, you know, from guitarist from Malevolent Creation, has announced that he'll be taking himself out of the ongoing tour with Cataclysm, Vader, and Skeletal Remains because of his stupidity regarding alcohol abuse and ongoing medical issues. Yeah, he just finished going through something recently, and I think he had some medication he wasn't supposed to be mixing, and it triggered bad, which I don't get. Like, that's like obvious. If you're taking hardcore medication or anything, you never mix it with alcohol unless you just wanted to die. So, you know, he's taking himself out of it. He made a whole Facebook post about how stupid he is for doing it. But the band is going to keep going. I mean, they're not bowing out of the tour. So, I mean, they're just not going to have him. They're going to have, I guess, a replacement fill in. So, and you know what? And, you know, to the band, to Malevolent Creation, I give them props on that because, you know, why? Because of a band member doing something stupid that you're going to go and just take yourself out of a tour like that. I think that's really dumb. I mean, I get it, it's like that whole thing, but it's a great tour, and that's something you don't want to miss. So, yeah, some more health news. Legendary extreme metal drummer Nick Barker, who played with Dimmu Borgir, Cradle of Filth, he's dealing with stage 5 chronic kidney failure right now. That's just insane. It's insane. So according to what he says, he's on dialysis 3 times a week for 4 hours at a time, and that's pretty much consumed his life. I've gone from one extreme to another, whereas before the renal failure, I was on tour in a different place every week. Today, I could be in New York. Next week, I could be in Sydney. And then the week after that, I'm in Amsterdam and London because of what I'm going through personally. It's made me appreciate more now it's gone. Now I don't have it. I really do appreciate it and realize how much it took for granted. Elaborate on this current medical condition. Barker said, I'm dealing with stage 5 chronic kidney failure right now, which is full renal failure. I've been on dialysis since January 2020. I've been approved by the transplant list here in Vancouver. I did all the pre-assessments, passed on assessment tests. They said, yep, you're totally fine. You've got to drop some of those pounds. So I've got about 20 to 30 pounds to lose before they can operate on him. I just, again, I'm going to go look. And, I was just looking at his picture, man. The dude is a year older than me. And he looking like he's in his 60s, man. And, look, man, again, your health is very important. Guys do not take any of this. I get the whole thing of being in a band and having a good time, and but as we age, that shit just starts to we start to will away, man. I mean, come on, really, you guys really got to start taking care of your health, man. It's really sad coming on here, doing recaps and hearing about all these musicians just passing away and getting sick, and it just sucks. It really fucking sucks to hear. All right, so we're back in the realms of Ozzy and Sharon. Okay, I did watch that documentary last night. Me and my wife. It was a very good documentary. It just came out it's on Paramount or whatever. You guys can catch it there. And it was a good documentary. It went basically, the last couple of years of Ozzy's life. It was very heart-wrenching to watch, man. Seeing Ozzy suffering. Seeing him go through his battles of wanting to perform. It really bothered him that he didn't get a chance to really do his thing in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then seeing it or getting to that part there where it shows his chair rising up in the Back to the Beginning show, and then it fades out, and then they show, some clips from the funeral, and that really hit the heart, but there's in talks about making the Back to the Beginning show an annual event. They want to bring one here in the United States. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, that was something that should have been like a one-off thing for Ozzy. They gave it to him. It's a monumental thing. I mean, if you want to do something for Ozzy, I wouldn't do that. Maybe call it something else. Or, I wouldn't call it Back to the Beginning. The Back to the Beginning was Ozzy's last, and that was it. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm all for them doing something for Ozzy. If they want to do a yearly thing, get bands together and have a good time and do some Ozzy and Black Sabbath songs and stuff, I think that'll be cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I don't know. Look, I'm just throwing my opinion, just like every ass out there. I just don't think it should be Back to the Beginning. I think Back to the Beginning was what it was, and it should stay that way. That's it. But that's just my opinion. All right, man. Now we're going to go into the world of Typo Negative. All right, Typo Negative. We got former Typo Negative stars Kenny Hickory has confirmed to Scott Penfold of Loaded Radio that a full-length concert recording from the long-defunct band is in the works for an official release. He says, we're actually working on a live album right now. He said, we're in the mixing process, so I'm excited about that. Working on the artwork now. So I guess it's just maybe some live stuff that they have, and that I guess would be worth the release. I mean, unfortunately, Peter Steele passed away back in 2010, and the band broke up since then. So we're talking 15 years. Pretty much, I think they was talking about trying to do like a tribute to Pete. Something similar to, like get the original band members together and then maybe have some guests people come in and sing and do stuff. But I think that's one of the band members is not really for it. I'm not sure exactly why, but I get it. Sometimes you just want to leave things the way they are. But either which way, I mean, it would be good to hear something that maybe even though it's live, but to hear Peter Steele again, I think that would be fucking cool. All right, going into the realm of Cannabis Corpse. All right, Cannabis Corpse deemed death metal unit has called it quits after nearly 2 decades. Who would have thought that this band would have lasted as long as they did, considering, that, they were just like a fun death metal band talking about getting high. All right, it was founded by Municipal Waste bassist Philip Paul and his brother Josh. Cannabis Corpse went on to release 6 albums through Seasons in the Abyss and Tank Crimes, among other labels. A brief statement from the band reads as follows. Cannabis Corpse has officially disbanded, thanks to those who came out and supported 2006 to 2025. Period. What a way to go, guys. Hey, look. Hey, it was a great band. I mean, they were cool fucking band, man. And I guess we'll see what other new theme bands will come up and maybe last as long as they did, right? Now we go into the realm of metal bochinche. All right, we got William Dean, drummer of Baltimore death metal band Visceral Disgorge, has come under fire for recent posts he made on his personal Facebook account that contained multiple derogatory statements directed at members of the LGBTQ community. It appears that his post was directed at British screenwriter Charlie Cavell, who wrote for a show called Chaos that loosely adapted elements of Greek mythology and non-binary. Dean included an anti-Semitic hashtag as well. Naturally, his post has drawn criticism from fans. His full statement reads as follows. I'll blurb out certain words because, I don't want to get hit. So, not sure many of you know who this is, but the fucking weirdo demoralized fucking Greek history. Legitimately made the gods of old a fucking shows and bullshit. Like, what the actual fuck? I'm fed up with the world of weak and useless alphabet people, and I will 1,000,000,000% remove all threats and lies from me and my family's lives. Be careful what you fucking watch, people. America will be the place of the next world war. He's vented, man. He's venting. I mean, I'm sure he said this at like he didn't mean, but hey, there's been other people who've been saying stuff that's been outlandish. I mean, you got that freaking attorney, that guy going for attorney who wanted to, shoot his Republican guy in the head and kill his children, and that thing surfaced now, and he's getting a lot of heat for that, So, look, man, you say certain things, man, there's going to be some prices to pay. Some people may agree with you, and it looks like a lot of people don't agree with you, man. I mean, you should never go and put out things like that and then not expect the backlash. I mean, hey, look, there's a thing about freedom of speech here. But, unfortunately, you come out and you say certain things, you will get heat for it. And that heat might result in some consequences. So, if you don't mind the consequences, keep giving the heat. That's all I got to say. All right, so look, again, guys, before I go, I want to thank everybody for liking and subscribing to the channel. And also, I want to just, again, one more thing. I said, look, I got my man Paul's stuff here. Also, go on my eBay store, Evaristo 1974. I do have Paul's shirts there. And, usually, I do help out Paul with what's going on. But make sure if you do buy his shirts, I'm making sure that Paul gets the full end of that. Whatever it is, even the whatever they take out, I make sure Paul gets everything. Okay, so go on to Evaristo 1974, get yourself a couple of Kai shirts, help Paul out as well with that. All right, so that's all I got right now. This is Barry, that Goat Metal Show.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.